From humbling Twitch's biggest star without a single insult, to comparing an arrogant YouTuber to Big Chungus. In a world where clout makes people think they're the main character, PewDiePie's the one who brings them crashing back to reality. And these are the times PewDiePie humbled arrogant influencers. At first glance, Alinity was just another rising Twitch star, but she wasn't like most streamers. Before drama and apology videos were a daily thing, Alinity was already giving the internet a masterclass in controversy. So it didn't take long for Alinity to get noticed for all the wrong reasons. From tossing her cat over her shoulder during a livestream like it was nothing, to even banning herself from Twitch after a wardrobe malfunction, since Twitch just looked the other way. Alinity did things on Twitch which would have gotten any other creator permanently banned from the platform. And when she got away with everything, Alinity started to think that the rules didn't apply to her. But that bubble was about to burst real soon. Because when PewDiePie came across Alinity's stream on one of his eye-tracking videos, he made a joke which just didn't sit right with her.
This is so annoying. Stupid Twitch thoughts. I just feel like they win over me, okay? And they're not gonna win over me. Stupid Twitch thoughts. No.
Seriously? He just said that?
But Alinity didn't just stop there, and she threatened to copy strike PewDiePie's video.
I'm gonna copy strike this guy, just for that word. Yo! Can we copy strike PewDiePie's latest video? Like right now? He called us Twitch thoughts.
And that's when things got really shady, because Alinity wasn't just bluffing when she threatened to copy strike PewDiePie. Behind the scenes, she was actually working with a company called DRM, an agency that was filing copyright claims on videos that even mentioned Alinity, even if those videos were 100% protected under fair use. It didn't matter if it was a reaction, commentary, or a meme. If Alinity didn't like it, DRM would take it down. And the worst part is that Alinity didn't even try to hide it. Instead, she bragged about it on stream.
It's a company that's called Collab, and they sending me $700 last month from copy strike hitting people.
Creators like Alinity had found a way to game the system, and if she could remove PewDiePie's content, small YouTubers didn't stand a chance. However, PewDiePie didn't stay silent for long, and when he finally spoke up, he started by saying that his comment was meant as a joke, but even he admitted it might have crossed the line.
I definitely didn't mean it in a negative way. It's just a joking word. But I do want to apologize to Alinity and be clear, it was never meant to hurt or upset anyone.
But then he turned the focus back on Alinity and her entitlement, and that's when things really escalated.
I know you don't portray yourself to be the smartest person, but I know you're not that dumb that you're not aware of what you're doing. Showing your underwear on stream, that's our fault, right? And then clicking on full screen right after. Bending over with your butt on camera, that's our fault, right? You're just looking at your butt hair.
PewDiePie explained how abusing copy strike laws wasn't just shady, it was also illegal.
You can get in serious trouble in legal court for abusing copyright laws.
But he didn't just stop there and called out Alinity for committing marriage fraud.
She very publicly admits to committing marriage fraud, that she moved to Colombia and married this guy just so she could move to Canada.
You don't make any money, you work a lot. So I was like, no, hell no. So I married a Canadian, and I came to Canada. And then I divorced him.
And to give the final blow, PewDiePie exposed how Alinity has been getting special treatment from Twitch.
She then very publicly admits that she's been getting special favors from Twitch. But that's our fault. Just watch.
Imagine you guys, you stream for 5 years, full time. I've gotten drunk, I've fallen, my butt has shown, you know, and Twitch has been behind my back the whole time. Like, hey, it's okay, you know, just delete the clips, you know, we're cool. I've been good with Twitch. I've never even had a 24-hour suspension. I've never had a suspension on Twitch.
Maybe this is the problem. She's never actually been forced to be held accountable for her action. Twitch has, like she says, been giving her favors.
PewDiePie made it clear he wasn't going to let entitled creators walk all over him. He exposed how Twitch handed out bans like candy to some creators, while Alinity got to just delete the VOD and move on like nothing happened. Alinity did try to come back at PewDiePie, claiming he was being sexist and setting a bad example for his young fans.
I take issue with someone like Felix degrading and minimizing women to what is largely a very young audience. Your audience is 12-year-olds hoping to see some cleavage. Are you kidding me? How delusional do you have to be to project this sort of statement?
But by then, the damage was done, and when no one took her side, she quickly deleted the post. PewDiePie had already humbled her, publicly and permanently. You'd think after all this whole mess, no one else would ever hit the copy strike button again, but apparently Pokimane didn't get the memo. Emon Ennis, better known as Pokimane, wasn't just another influencer. By 2018, she was the face of Twitch.
Get it off! Get it off! Gross!
With a bubbly personality and a kind reputation, Pokimane seemed almost immune to online backlash. But that public image didn't tell the full story. Behind the scenes, Pokimane had started showing signs of someone who didn't handle criticism well. Whether it was complaining to sponsors of creators who call her out online, to calling her own fans out when they complained about the price of her cookie.
I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Pokimane's arrogance was rising with every stream, and then came the copyright strikes. Pokimane began filing copyright claims on videos that featured her, even when it was just screenshots or short clips. And in one stream, she said it out loud almost proudly. "Well, I'm so sorry that it takes you a lot of time to steal other people's content. I'll be taking down some of your videos." That line hit the internet like a punch in the face, because the irony was impossible to ignore. Pokimane's own streams mostly involved her reacting to other people's content while chatting with her viewers. So when she copy-striked YouTuber Boblax's video, which was a simple recap of her feud with Keemstar, the internet wasn't just surprised, it was pissed. Boblax's video wasn't some hit piece, it was just a timeline of the fight with public tweets and archived clips. Yet, Pokimane took it down. Suddenly, the sweet Twitch star looked less like a creator protecting content and more like a control freak desperate to dodge bad publicity. And that's when PewDiePie stepped in. In his video titled "Stop Doing This," PewDiePie mentioned Pokimane by name, and while he said he understood her reasons, he wasn't about to give her a free pass.
So basically this Twitter drama became an even bigger drama thanks to the YouTube algorithm. So in a way, I can understand why you want to take down this video, because this selected thing blows up and becomes even bigger.
Without any yelling or insults, PewDiePie explained why abusing copyright tools was a dangerous precedent.
Is that you're just drawing more attention to it. It's the Streisand effect every single time. The more you try and hide something, the more people are gonna find out about it.
PewDiePie also pointed out how it's pretty hypocritical to copy strike others when your own content is built on reacting to theirs.
All these people that I brought up today have examples of using other people's content for their own content. They could all get copyright striked just the same way they copyright strike other people or claim their videos.
And he was right. The moment Pokimane tried to silence the internet, more people started speaking up. As more and more people watched the videos, Pokimane's wholesome persona image started to fall apart. But right when the backlash peaked, Pokimane did what most creators never do. She actually listened.
PewDiePie actually hit the nail right on the head.
So in a way, I can understand why you want to take down this video.
But again, PewDiePie was in the right by saying,
but the problem here is that you're just drawing more attention to it.
Trying to hide all that drama only ended up bringing more attention to it. Again, in the moment, I was just doing that because I thought it was something that would calm down all the drama.
She responded publicly and admitted that she was in the wrong. And instead of doubling down, she stepped back and apologized.
Although I was legally within my right to take down the video, morally and as a content creator, it wasn't something that I should have done because, I mean, at the end of the day, those were tweets that me and Keem made publicly and videos that we made publicly. So I totally apologize for that.
And for once, the internet actually respected that. PewDiePie didn't cancel her. He corrected her with humor, clarity, the message across without turning it into an attack. And in the process, he held one of the biggest streamers accountable without turning it into war. While PewDiePie humbled Pokimane without making it personal, the next influencer wasn't so lucky. Lily Sign was one of the defining voices of early YouTube. From her viral skits as Superwoman to hosting her own late-night show, she broke barriers as one of the first South Asian women to dominate the platform. She was funny, relatable, and proved that hustle and heart could take you from your bedroom to billboards. But somewhere along the way, the hustle turned into entitlement. And when Forbes dropped their 2018 list of top 8 YouTubers with 0 women on it, Lily wasn't just disappointed, she was furious. Lily tweeted that 2 years ago it was almost even between male and female. Last year it was just me. And this year there are no females at all. I'm concerned the digital space is going to repeat the mistake of ancient industries. The tweet blew up. While some praised Lily for voicing her opinion, others pushed back and pointed out that the Forbes list was based purely on revenue, not popularity or representation. But Lily doubled down and went on Twitter again. Remind me why you are mad again. I'm not playing the gender card. I'm literally stating facts. Let's do better. I'm not your enemy. While some saw it as a powerful stand, PewDiePie and many others thought it sounded more like virtue signaling. Because let's be honest, Lily Singh wasn't exactly struggling. She had millions of subscribers, global brand deals, a book deal, and even her own late-night show. But instead of adapting her content or taking feedback, she chose to blame the system. And that didn't sit well with PewDiePie. So in his usual joking fashion, PewDiePie called Lily out and gave her tips on how to earn more revenue.
This is a crazy idea, but maybe you should plan a campaign or something like that to increase your revenue. Something about mental health, and then just come back and sell a bunch of merch afterwards. That would be a great idea. Maybe that will help you earn more revenue. Hey guys, I work too much. I need a break. Buy my hustle merch!
But PewDiePie didn't just stop there. He made sure to let Lily know that gender has nothing to do with YouTube revenue.
You don't get paid more or less based on your gender. AdSense pays the same way. If people want to subscribe to you, they generally do it because they enjoy your videos, not because of your gender. That's just ridiculous.
And then came the line that shut it all down.
But if you start complaining about this, you literally just sound like a crybaby and an idiot, which you are, Lily Singh. Just in case you weren't sure.
Some people said PewDiePie went too far, but he was just making a point. If the content's mid, no amount of activism can cover it up. If people aren't watching, it's not always sexism. Sometimes the videos are just bad. Lily later tried to cool the situation and tried to reach out to Pewd for a conversation, but PewDiePie couldn't care less. He just wasn't interested and never responded. Instead, he let his video do the talking. Because when Lily Singh was getting roasted for her awkward acting in the movie Fahrenheit 451, PewDiePie just couldn't sit back and watch.
Big Chungus has gotten so popular that they got a live action confirmed with it, and it's played by Lily Singh. Oh yes! Finally, a real actor playing a really important role. I'm so proud of this community.
At the end of the day, PewDiePie never held back when calling people out, because his fans knew he only spoke up when someone really crossed the line. And when that happens, you don't just lose the fight, you lose the internet. After roasting Lily Singh mercilessly, PewDiePie's next clash wasn't with a washed-up YouTuber. It was with a creator who was at his prime and pushed things way too far. Cause this was KSI, a UK YouTube titan who boxed, rapped, vlogged, and turned every controversy into currency. KSI knew exactly how to stay in the spotlight, especially when his fight with Logan Paul became a chaotic spectacle that took over all of YouTube. It was loud and messy, exactly what KSI wanted, but PewDiePie wasn't buying it. To him, this wasn't a clash of titans, it was two clout chasers rehearsing a script. And when KSI made the crowd chant profanity about Logan's ex on stage, that's when Pewd decided it was time to speak up.
Now, KSI, he is a scumbag. You're both scumbags. KSI has made same comments about my future wife, Marzia. And I never respond to it because it's just cringy.
But KSI saw this as an opportunity to get even more clout.
I'm sure you heard what he said about you guys being scumbags and accused you of both being in just for the money. What do you think about that? Is that true?
Well, I mean, he has no ground to talk at all. He is probably... No, he is the person that ruined a lot of people's lives on YouTube with his comments and his whole anti-Semitism. I can't even say the word. But yeah. So, he didn't help with that. But, you know, each to their own. Each to their own.
He started pulling up PewDiePie's old controversies, trying to turn old drama into fresh headlines, just to keep the spotlight on himself. However, once PewDiePie realized what KSI was doing, he stopped responding. So now KSI didn't look like a rival, he looked like someone chasing headlines in a moment that had already moved on. Still, the beef didn't stop there, because KSI just couldn't let it go. Because when KSI saw PewDiePie joke about his forehead, he tried to fire things up again by bringing up old PewDiePie versus T-Series feud, like that still mattered. No matter what he did, PewDiePie still wouldn't bite, and sometimes the best way to humble someone who's chasing a reaction is to give them nothing at all. PewDiePie had just shown that silence could humble louder voices, but his next feud wasn't about noise, it was about accountability. Trisha Paytas was one of the most unpredictable creators on YouTube. Every week she was creating something different, from a video of her crying on the kitchen floor to calling dogs human. Half the time, you couldn't tell if her content was real or just a performance. However, things took a weird turn in 2017 when Nicocado Avocado posted a heartfelt piano cover of her song Warrior. Trisha praised it and promised to collaborate if he ever came to LA. But when Nicocado flew all the way from Colombia to Los Angeles just to meet her, Trisha ended up ghosting him. And when Nicocado finally spoke out about what happened, Trisha denied everything, pretending she barely even knew him.
I was never going to. I wasn't gonna collab, you know what I mean? I don't know where that came from.
Soon enough, Trisha started going on interviews, gloating that she wasn't even sorry about the situation.
Well, I feel like so many people, him and a lot of your fans, want to hear an apology.
But I'm not sorry.
And that's when PewDiePie had enough, and he dedicated an entire episode of his Cringe First Day series to Trisha.
Liar, manipulator, playing victim, aggressive, abusive.
PewDiePie came to Nicocado's defense and publicly called Trisha out, not just for ghosting him, but for the way she tried to rewrite the story.
I'll have you know that Trisha invited him to collab. He flew all the way from Colombia and she just ghosted him. Cancel Trisha Paytas right now.
But he didn't just stop there.
So now that we know that she's not a good person, it's okay to make fun of her! Yay!
PewDiePie even called out what everyone else was thinking, that Trisha was acting dumb on purpose just to get more views.
I feel like she does play into the dumb blonde role, like she purposely trying to make her stupid.
Dogs are mammals, right? Yeah, dogs are mammals. They're humans. Or no, they're not human. They're part of the animal kingdom that God created. I love you, Jesus.
That is an amazing sentence.
And to put the final nail in the coffin, PewDiePie did mention some things he liked about Trisha. And no, it's not what you're expecting.
She does have some likable qualities though, like she's
PewDiePie's response wasn't loud or dramatic, because it didn't need to be. With just one video, he managed to expose Trisha and say what everyone else had been thinking but never dared to say out loud. And to this day, PewDiePie lives in Trisha's head rent-free.
PewDiePie, fuck all the way off. You're disgusting, your humor sucks, and you should stick to playing video games.